Howdy ho, Junior Rangers, Misfit here, and welcome to another video. Today, we are on Munchy MC, Munchy Monkey MC, if you will. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, bing-bing, walla-walla, bing-bang. We're on Munchy MC, and we're gonna play some Wool Wars. I can never say this game, we're playing it. Let's do it. It's gonna be a good time. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Are you? You better be. Oh gosh. Okay, so all the kits are free right now. So I have to choose what to play with. I think I'm gonna do the feather. The feather kit seems like a fun time, so we're gonna do that. But I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be a good story that I have for you. It's not even really a story. It's just more of social commentary on why you never, ever watch horror movies with just your parents. Now, for me, I do watch a lot of horror movies. They're kind of my favorite genre movies. They're the only ones I really like, especially at the moment. I used to not, but they just are the only ones that don't really bore me. Movies tend to bore me quite easily. Especially, like, really long ones. I have a very short attention span. And, you know, horror movies are all usually around hour to hour and a half long. Which is really, really handy. And I didn't do good. That saddens me. You know, that was a practice run. I was distracted. Oh, I did that parkour jump so easily. I'm never gonna— Oh my goodness. Okay, but you know, yeah, they're usually pretty short, so they keep my attention span. And honestly, they're interesting. Horror movies are really interesting. They're not like other movies, and because like you tend to like mix certain genres. They have a lot of overlap. Like adventure movies and sci-fi movies overlap a lot. Same with like mystery movies and like romance movies. I feel like they have a lot of overlap, but horror movies are just kind of their own individual thing, like horrors and thrillers. Those I guess those kind of group together, but those are very similar. And frankly, they're just so much better than normal movies, in my opinion. You know, watch what you want to watch, do what makes you happy. But yeah, that's just my stance on that. And so my parents were— Okay, sorry. My parents gave me permission to, you know, pick the movie, because I graduated and I wanted— Oh, I am an idiot. Ah, fluff you. I'm not doing good at the video game, Mom. I keep trying to tell my story and then I die, and it's just so not good. But yeah, so I chose to watch a horror movie. The movie is called Cube, if you want to know. It's pretty good. I enjoy it, but they did not. Now the funny thing is, my parents they hate horror movies, which again I can't comprehend because they're the best. But the opening scene of Cube, this movie I was watching, is, keep in mind, I've seen this movie before. I was showing it to them because my mom doesn't watch super gory films. And I respect that, I get that. And this one has a little bit of gore, just a little bit. But it's an old film, so the gore is all really bad. And that makes it really funny to me. And so, we're watching this movie, and this guy gets like— well, he gets cubed, basically. And he just like kind of his body falls apart. And it looks really weird. It's just a weird time for all involved. And I'm just sitting there dying of laughter. And my dad is looking at me with the most disappointed expression I have ever seen. It like, oh my gosh, he's like, I don't find this very funny. And I'm like, like, what do you say to that? Come here, little baby. Okay. We're out of arrows. What does this mean? I don't know. You need more chests. But he's just so upset with me for dying, genuinely dying at this guy who just got murdered by being cute. Oh gosh. Why? Who? Where? Why? When? Why? How? Oh. I died! Yay! But, you know, I tried so hard to stop laughing. I'm gonna be honest. I gave it the old college try, and I just couldn't. It was so funny. This dude who was just there 1 second just gets cubed like an avocado, and then he falls apart. And it's like, it's so funny. And he just didn't understand why it was so funny, and he just was so upset with me for laughing at it. He's like, this isn't funny. But it was so funny. You had to be there. You had to be there. But regardless, I should have learned my lesson not to watch horror movies for another reason. Because there's a couple weeks ago, I watched a different horror movie with my parents because I wanted to. Because again, I've been forced to watch many movies with them that I couldn't care less about. And it was my turn. It was my turn to choose. And so this other movie we watched, coincidentally, was called Circle. So we watched Cube and Circle. I have a thing for shapes, okay? I'm a math major. But regardless, we watched Circle, and we go through the movie. And I happen to love the ending of this movie. I think it's cool. I think it's witty. I think it's unique. They did not. They did not find it as amusing as I did. For understandable reasons, I suppose. But we finished the movie, and they just were so mad at me. Again, they just got angry because they're like, I just wasted an hour of my life. This ending sucked. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I guess our taste in movies are different or something. But they were just mad that they would. I saved myself so well, and then I just lost it. I lost it. This is ridiculous. This is unfair and dishonest, and frankly, I'm offended. I would be honest in saying that I am offended by this. It seems like just not a nice thing to do. But you know, again, in hindsight, probably my fault for showing them 2 horror movies after the first one failed. But the second one, again, they just didn't like the ending. And horror movies tend to have interesting endings that you either really like or you really hate, because you think it should have a happier ending. Like in Circle, if you haven't seen it, well, here's a little spoiler. It's not a big one or anything, but everyone basically dies. Guess that is kind of a spoiler, but not really. If you watch the movie, you would understand. It's not really a spoiler, but everyone dies. And my mom was like, wait, they don't come back to life? And I'm like, have you ever seen a horror movie? Have you ever seen one? Because, you know, typically, yeah, they don't survive. That's kind of how it goes. It's supposed to be kind of scary. That's why it's called a horror movie. But she just did not understand that concept. She's like, why would you want to watch a sad movie? And it's not sad. That was rigged. That was not. That was. No. No. That was, you didn't see that. But yeah, they just did not like the concept of everyone dying, and I just didn't know how to explain to them that if everyone lived at the end, that would make the movie significantly worse, because it would have made the whole thing pointless. Watch the movie if you haven't. I like the ending. They didn't. Regardless. I've said regardless like 20 times, but, you know, it's one of those things where it may be a generational difference, it may just be like a tastes and like personal preference difference. Who knows? But I liked it. They did not. So, you know, I guess it is what it is. But I'm upset. I'm a little upset with them. But I went into watching Cube knowing that they didn't like scary movies. But regardless, I showed them Cube. And we finished Cube up, which is the second movie we watched. And if you don't know what Cube is, then you also wouldn't know that it's a 2 to 3 part it's a 3-part series. Which means that the ending of the movie is it's kind of a cliffhanger, but not really. You don't really need to watch the other movies aren't nearly as good. In my opinion. And so I thought it'd be fine if we just watched the first one, but we finished it. And then they started asking me questions, like things that I would have no way of knowing. Because I watched the second movie and part of the third one. I haven't finished the third one yet. They started asking me all these questions, and I had no idea how to answer them. And they're like, well, then what's the point of watching this movie? I'm like, well, you gotta watch the other ones. They're like, they got really mad. That's a trend here. They just got mad at me for showing them a movie when they didn't know that they would have to sit through the other two. And I don't understand why they cared so much. They shouldn't have cared because, and here's why. Here is why they should not have cared. Because they didn't even like the movie to begin with. So why would they... Shaking my head, sir. That was just bullying. Huh. Well, at least I survived. I'm happy about that. I see a person. Oh, come on. No. Sadness. But yeah, they didn't even like the movie, so why would they care about the ending? That just doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all. Not one bit, not 1 second. But I guess it is what it is. And that's kind of why I've realized, don't watch horror movies with your family. Because when in doubt, they'll get mad at you for everything. For not liking the ending, for everyone dying, for everything. So don't do it. Don't watch horror movies with your family. Especially if you're like me and you actually like horror movies. And they don't. Just, maybe that should have been the point of the video. Don't make people watch movies that they wouldn't like. Huh. Because I didn't like watching, I made fun of the movies that I didn't like and they made me watch. Oh. This was a moment of self-realization for me. I'm gonna be honest here. I gotta ponder this. I mean, the many long, restless nights will be spent thinking this over. I advise you to do the same. Regardless, I hope you leave a like on this video and comment down below your favorite movie genre and all those fun things. Maybe you guys could watch Circle or Cube, or you could just do math like me. Oh, I just hit my window. Ow! I was gesturing with my hands very enthusiastically, because as I do during my many outros that I do. I hit my window. That was next. That's besides the point. Yeah, comment your favorite movie. Do watch Cube and Circle if you haven't, I guess. I don't know. They're all right. Cube's on Netflix for free if you want to watch it. It's a good Canadian film. I'm not Canadian, but I like Canadians. So, do that. Subscribe if you're new. I always appreciate new members to whatever this channel is. And yeah. See you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye. Ooh, that was a crispy voice crack right there. All right, bye.